we got to go by the game plan that Cal put in, and you just see how the game goes. I don't know. I ain't going to say too much.
Hey, Deebo, you are one of the biggest leaders of the team. You and Trent Williams. Trent Williams wasn't here in 2019. What are you saying specifically to Trent about the big game?
I ain't saying too much because, I mean, Trey never been here before. This is his first time, but I think he understands what's at stake and what things that we need to do to try to win this game.
What's your favorite flavor of Gatorade?
I mean, I just drank them all, man. I just walked in there and just grabbed one. Not lying to you.
Deebo, you said Trent's second or first time, your second time. Does that help you anything different this time?
Not necessarily. Basically, like when I was a rookie, you know, the moment was like so big, and like I was a rookie my first time in Super Bowl, so I was just like happy to do everything. But like now, it's just like, you know what I'm saying, just keeping the main thing the main thing, and just keeping it steady. Just going out there and and being able to play another game with my guys.
Yeah, I honestly I can't remember it that vividly to say what the mood was like on the sideline, but I definitely will say, having been through it, we know you have to play all 60 minutes, and there is no letting up until there are zeros on that board or it's completely out of hand. So that's definitely something we learned from our last time. Yeah. Yeah. I see a lot of there's talent on all three levels. Like there are very good players all across the board, and a lot of times, you know, you'll see teams that have a very good front seven, or they're known for their secondary, or it's kind of one or the other. Where I see it very dispersed throughout them. Like I see obviously an elite defensive lineman. I see a really good linebacking core. Like all four guys that play in there are all very solid, good players, and then obviously their corners are studs, and so you kind of you see it at all three levels, and they do such a good job because a lot of them have played together for a long time, and they've been in this system. You know, Spags has been there for a while, and he's gotten those guys to kind of see things through one lens, like we like to say, and they all can react quickly and play fast. Right, yeah. You know, they don't have like a ton of like big names outside of Chris, but sometimes that almost like works to your advantage because these guys they play so selflessly and they've been in the system for so long that they can all play fast and do that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Every other ranking is like top 5.
Yeah.
Do you sense that there might be an opportunity to run the ball against these guys?
I mean, possibly. We obviously think we can run the ball against anybody because we think we have the best run scheme in the league. So always confident that going into a game that we can do that. And it's easy to have that confidence when you got 23 lined up behind you.
Which linebacker on the Chiefs sticks out the most to you? And then obviously you win this game in 2019. What do you think you have to do as a team to win this game?
Yeah. Sorry, I was focused on your first question in the beginning there.
Which linebacker is the best for the Chiefs?
Nobody scares me, but I have too much respect for all of them to really point out one of them. I just like what they do as a group because they are very interchangeable. A lot of them, they all play different positions. A lot of those guys, they'll line up, play on the line of scrimmage. They play off the ball. They'll play a 3 technique. They, they'll be like a nickel coverage guy. So they're very versatile, and I respect that. What else did you have?
And then you won this team in 2019. What do you think you have to do collectively as a team to change the result?
I think just finish and execute. Before I even say finish, I think it's obviously easy to say that we fell apart at the end of the game, which obviously we should have done better at the end. But there's times earlier in the game where we could have capitalized more and been up more than 10. So it's really about the whole game, and I think that's where I go back to. It's about execution. No matter what time of the game it is, it's about taking full advantage of the plays that we do have and getting the absolute most out of them so that when it gets to the end of the game, hopefully you have a little cushion there or you're ready to execute then.
Kyle, you played more tight end alignment this year than like in any season past.
Yeah.
Why are you guys liking that so much this year when you've got open line of scrimmage?
That's a good question. I don't have a choice in that. But I'm happy to do any of it. So I don't know. I mean, I could just speculate that. I don't even know. I don't have a speculation for you. I mean, if there's ever a choice, I definitely feel the most comfortable in the I formation. I feel like I am at my absolute best there, and I will go against anybody in the I formation. But then again, I am also very comfortable being in that tight end position, being outside, all that kind of stuff. I've always moved around, so I'm cool with all of it.
What is it that changes? Is it just you don't get like velocity going in a block?
Yeah, no, it's actually there's a big difference. It's when you're in the I formation, you're really blocking in space because there is that distance between you and your defender. Where when you're on the line of scrimmage, like things happen like that, you really have a step or two and you're initiated. So I've always felt like one of my strengths as a player is being able to block in space because you can use more leverage and angles and those type of things, which are my strengths. Whereas I am well aware that I am not Trent Williams and gonna run a defensive end 4 yards back. Exactly. Well aware of that, and that's fine. So yeah, that's where I'd say the difference is.
Last one, Kyle said that last month he said he really likes to have a fullback on the field because it allows him to dictate to defenses what they do. They can't dictate pass.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit more about what he means by that? What is it about particularly putting a fullback in the huddle that puts defense in a tough spot?
A lot of times they need it forces them to match personnel. So when there's a fullback in the game, typically teams will match with base personnel, 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers. They don't know. That's not always the case, but because when there's a fullback in the game, there's the threat of run, and if you leave a nickel linebacker in there, and you only have 2 linebackers. That's going to be to our advantage in the run game because I'm bigger than most nickel cornerbacks, So I think that's what he means by that. And one of my strengths is that I feel like with me on the field as a fullback, that obviously it gives us advantage in the run game, but I can also run routes and be effective in the pass game. And I think that's where I kind of set myself apart.
Are you practicing those toes rocket catches like the one you had against Detroit?
I used to practice those in my living room with my brother growing up, falling into the couch every day. But I don't really practice those in practice anymore, but it's just kind of something I always did as a kid, always, dreamed of doing at this level. So it's just kind of something that is passed on over the years.
What's your favorite color of Gatorade?
Favorite color of Gatorade? Glacier Freeze, the light blue. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. There's a lot of things that have happened. I don't know if you've heard about the major leak that is in the ceiling in our training room that they've had to send people out to fix multiple times. So, I mean, yeah, it is kind of it would be a crazy coincidence, but I mean, it's really whatever. It bands us together. It's something we can all complain about together. That's what football players do in the locker room. We all complain. Yeah, totally. It's like going through training camp when we're complaining about being in pads for 4 days straight. It just gives us something to unite around. So thankfully, they haven't been anything that's ground shattering, but good enough that they can light a fire. I think just being aware of that and being aware of what their strengths are and what they like to do, so that when they come with their best moves, you have a counter. Yeah. I mean, I'm always going to side with my guys. I think those are 2 of the best receivers in the league, and I think they do a great job of preparing each week and knowing the type of player that they're going up against. And I think they both have incredible skill sets. Brandon's one of the best route runners in the league. Deebo is one of the most physical receivers in the league, and I think that bodes well for us. Yep. Yeah. Again, I'm always going to pick my team. I like our squad.
You don't I don't think we necessarily need motivation for this game because it is a Super Bowl and we're all very excited. But like, we definitely have a sense of urgency with the want to win because it's very difficult to win this league. It's very difficult to get to the Super Bowl. So, we're very very happy to be back, and but we we understand the sense of urgency how like this is, you got to win this one. Hi. Great.
You talked about your tattoo.
Yeah.
I know you have some other ones.
Yes, I do.
Do they have a story as well?
Yeah, they do actually.
Tell them a bit about it.
So yeah, I got the Joker. So I'm big into alter egos. So like I don't know. I think I channel energy through different characters. And so like those characters that I want to draw energy from, I tattoo on myself. That's how I viewed it. And so like I have a bad guy arm, I have a good guy arm. I got the Joker, I have Venom from Spider-Man, I have Godzilla, I have the Master Chief from Halo, Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbes. And so like what I try to do is draw energy from these things while I'm playing football or just like in my everyday life, just because they're all like kind of superheroes to me. And so if you can draw just a superhero some of his qualities, then you might be able to do something cool with your life. Depending on the day.
You hit some of them.
I kind of like think through them. Like think about I'm not going to say I have conversations with myself, but like think of like the angel and the devil on your shoulder type of thing. Just having a conversation.
One last thing.
Yeah.
This is a present.
Ooh! Juice got one of these and I was jealous.
Yes.
This is sick. Thank you. I was so jealous. That's phenomenal. And they got Godzilla out there.
Mexican artist made it tailor-made just for you. Okay?
It's phenomenal. I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Hi.
Just a quick question for you. So you've talked in the past about, kind of staying hungry and, embracing the underdog mentality, even though you guys don't have to do that. I'm just curious, the game coming up, do you consider yourselves to be an underdog versus the Chiefs? And if so, what's the reason for that?
No, I don't think I'm an underdog. I think it's pretty two very talented teams that are in the Super Bowl playing each other. I don't think either one of us is an underdog. Like they have some of the best players in the world, and I think we have some of the best players in the world. And it's just going to be a dogfight out there, and I'm just looking forward to it. I wouldn't say either one of us is an underdog. I think it's going to be a bunch of heavy hits. Yeah, man. Hi.
Man, so you and Fred are kind of the emotional team leaders in a lot of ways. What makes Fred a great leader for the defense? And two, what are the Mount Rushmore of greatest wrestlers? I saw you and McAfee take over WrestleMania.
We did.
Give me the top 4 wrestlers and what makes Fred a great leader for this team.
I'm going to ask for the wrestling one first because I'm more excited. I'm kidding. I love wrestling. Love Fred. My favorite 4 are Stone Cold, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, and then Seth Rollins because he's an Iowa guy and I love Seth. I think he's amazing. Now there's other guys that should definitely be on the list. Charlotte Flair is up there for me too. Yeah, Stone Cold's my number 1. Yeah, he's my number 1. He's my number 1. But like Charlotte Flair is she's close in there too. She's incredible. Incredible on the ropes. Oh yeah, and then you said Fred. My bad. You just got to remind me, man. You got me distracted with wrestling. Yeah, what makes Fred very talented is he's incredibly consistent. Like, he does a very good job of not being fake. Like, he's consistent every single day. And when you are an emotional leader and you give pregame speeches, you talk to the team a lot, you have to be consistent. Like, you can't just pull that out on game day. You have to talk to the team throughout the week. You have to talk to the team throughout the year. Like, you have to be consistent with that. And I think Fred does a really good job about that. He talks to the team, tries his best to motivate them. But like another thing, like when he goes out there and says, "I want you to play your best ball for 60 minutes," like he goes out there and does it. There's not a play that you're gonna look at Fred and be like, "Hey Fred, why weren't you running right? Like where's the effort?" He does that. He has zero no effort plays. Like he's always 100 miles an hour. And when you set that standard for yourself, it forces the guys around you to live up to that standard. Otherwise, you will get called out. Yeah. What's up, man?
Football's a physical sport, but it's a mental sport.
Yes, it is.
Playing up defender, play number 1.
Yes.
Sometimes with words, sometimes just quietly. Sometimes they talk to you, sometimes they don't. Tell me about your experience with the mental side of the game and trying to psych out the opponent, whether they speak to you or you speak to them. And how would you rate yourself to trash talk from 1 to 10?
Oh, well, I talk trash significantly different. I have like a smile on my face and am having like a conversation you'd have with your buddy at the water cooler. That's me. That's how I work. And so I would say like from the very first, if you'll see me at the coin toss and I'm going to try to, the game that like you put your circle down by your hip, you make somebody look. I play that. You ask any of my teammates. I've gotten everybody on this team at least 5 times that game. It continues on game day. I'll get the guys with the coin flip. I'll get one of their Chiefs players. I get everybody, at least one guy every game. And then first snap when I go out there, I'm going to say, hey, man, good luck tonight. Let's be safe. Can't wait to compete against you. And, sometimes I get a, hey, you too, man. Or I get, like, go F yourself. I'm like, sick, man. Can't wait to compete, baby. Let's have some fun. So, like, and then there's just an ebb and flow of you talk to guys. Sometimes they refuse to talk back to you. So I just keep talking to them until they usually talk to me at some point in the third quarter. You made it back. He's been waiting. What's up, man?
All right, so you're known for your positivity, so I thought I could lob this question to you.
Softball or baseball? What's easier to hit, softball or baseball? Baseball. No, don't you remember like sports science? They did it, and like hitting a softball is harder from a baseball player. Because the ball goes up because she's coming out of low, so the ball's going this way instead of down. Harder to hit. All right, now what's your question?
All right, so positivity. What is your, how about the Super Bowl loss of the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Like, what is your favorite moment?
Ooh, from that game, I would say running onto the field for my first ever Super Bowl when it was like a dream of mine since I was 4. I'll never forget that. That was a rush and a very chilling moment for me, like just like goosebumps, and it was just that was a dream, was playing Super Bowl because it's very hard to get there. So that would be a very positive thing that I still pull from that.
For you, because guys are talking about that, it's just a lot. Do you have to do anything to like say, okay, I need to like actually be ready to play the first snap?
Once you get onto the field, like it's football. I think like the fact that it's like a longer warm up, and then like when you go out there for your warm up without pads on, there's a lot of people like than most times, and so like it's just kind of like the scale of it. You definitely notice it. You don't just walk out there and, oh, it's another game. Like you want to treat it like that, but it's still the Super Bowl. Like give it its respect and what it's worth, and like soak in the moment. Just don't let it distract you. Is what I would say. Wow. Sorry, I got distracted. You started making me think about that moment, man, and I just like that was a really good moment. Yeah, but yeah, you just take it for what it is and just remain focused as best you can.
George, you're an incredible.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Incredibly physical football player.
Thank you.
Positive. How do you deal with the mental health aspect off the field? You take care of your body, obviously, but how
Yeah.
do you take care of your mind and just emotionally being a high-level player like yourself?
The number one thing is my wife. Anywhere I've ever lived in my entire life, she has made it home like within an hour. And so I really appreciate that from her. So like when I get to go home to my wife and she meets me at the door and she's with my dog, it's an instant, like no matter what happened that day, I lost a football game, I dropped the ball in practice, no matter what happened that day, like I'm good. And she grounds me and she does a great job of that. I can talk with her about it. Besides that, for me, what I do, like I don't watch any football stuff at all the whole season. So like I like the Good Morning Football guys. They're great. My mom sends me clips and they say nice things about me. But I do a pretty good job. Like I avoid all sports social media. I like hockey, so I follow that a lot. But I just try my best to like distance myself from everything, because you put yourself out there every day of the week. Your coaches are watching your tape and criticizing you, or like coaching you. But it is sometimes criticism, which it should be. And then on game day, you're doing the same thing. You're putting yourself out there in front of millions of people. And so it's just like you have to disconnect at some point, recharge the battery, so that by that time Wednesday shows up, you're ready to go again. And I also like playing Call of Duty. That helps too. What's up, man? I'm great.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
As a big-time player making big-time plays, tell me about your mental preparation. Is there any nuances that you're adding to this time of Super Bowl, or kind of sticking to the script right now, routine as usual?
Oh, like I haven't added anything. No, I'm trying to make this week itself as much the same as I possibly can be. It's just kind of how I operate throughout the day. Whether it's like after practice, I try to do the exact same things I would do at home. I have like I'm on the side, like I'll do breath work when I'm out there at the game. I do breath work in the morning, and those things just kind of ground and center me. And then for that, really, it's just football. Then and just go out there and flip a switch. One sec. Yeah. Yeah, football fans are amazing. Football fans are amazing too. But like, I love, like the NFL has such a great fan base for so many teams and how passionate they are. And so like, I was one of those kids that would go like to somewhere with my parents and watch the Super Bowl. And so like, I love that energy. Like you're providing this incredible amounts of energy and vibes and memories to all these families and people out there watching. So yeah, you definitely feel it, and it's very cool to be a part of a sport that has that impact around the world. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they run very unique coverages that not a lot of their teams run, and then their 4 guys plus their linebackers. If you watch the tape, one thing that they're doing at a very high level is communicating. And so we're a team that we have guys in motion, and then they'll run back the other way, and there's all these motions to try to get guys that, they have to bump gaps with all those motions and run fits and stuff like that. And they just do such a good job of communicating. They never get missed. Like, they always are in the right place at the right time, no matter how many motions you do, and know exactly how to run their defense. And that's one of the most impressive things, because I think our offense is very difficult to run against if you're not used to something like that. And you see that for a lot of our big plays are one guy took the wrong step because of one of the motions. We were able to dig that guy out instead of him hitting the C gap. And then, you have Christian McCaffrey one-on-one versus safety. And so, they do a very good job of communicating. I think that's going to be one of the biggest difficulties for us because they're just better than anyone else at it. What's up, man?
On the youth movement of the tight end position. Historically, it's been one where if you see fourth, fifth year guys when they start breaking out, but especially this year, Dalton Kincaid with the Bills.
Yeah.
Luke Musgrave was good. Tucker Kraft was also good for Falcons. What do you think?
Ferguson.
Yeah, Ferguson's awesome.
Yeah.
These guys being able to break out.
Well, let me think. Well, you listed at least three Big Ten guys, so that's one reason. The Big Ten guys are getting into the league because they practice really well and they know what they're doing. But I would say, realistically, I think there's a lot of good tape out there, and I think that young guys, I did when I was younger, you want to watch the tape of the best guys in the league, and I think there's a lot of great tape out there right now, tight ends that are featured in their offenses. And then I also think that these teams are other teams are watching the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Niners, teams that have good tight ends are winning a lot of football games. So they're featuring their tight ends because they understand how dominant they can be in the middle of the field. And so that's why I think there's this huge resurgence or just of young players being ready for the moment I just think they're being featured and they're just getting used to playing football.
George, your family has one, or you gotta wrap
Wait,
up, guys.
I'm going this way. I'm sorry. He's been waiting.
I'm gonna ask you dumb questions.
I love dumb questions.
So you have yourself and Claire.
Yes.
You have Kyle and Kristen.
Yes.
You have Christian and Olivia.
Yes.
Which team has the better power couples in the league?
Oh, wow. I'm going to pick any team that has my wife on it because she's the most powerful woman that I know, and she affects most of my decisions. So that's what I would say. Yes.
Stuff that you guys have faced in terms of the practice field, fire alarm going off,
Yes.
leak in the training room.
There was.
Thoughts on all that?
How do you guys all know about all this stuff? That's crazy. Me personally, I have nothing to complain about. I'm playing football in February. I'm in Las Vegas with my teammates about to play in a game that I've dreamt about since I was a kid. So, there's nothing going on to me that's affecting me in any state of mind. And I hope my teammates are sharing.